Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and I am interviewing Jeremy Plouzek. What's up, Jeremy?
Not much. Good to see everyone.
Good. Well, hey, it's good to interview you in this venue. Last time I was on a video with you, or I saw you on a video, you were giving one of the best all-time Mortgage Coach testimonials. I'm gonna find it, and it's in YouTube, and I'm gonna put a link below. So when you're watching this right now, if you want to see my all-time favorite Mortgage Coach testimonial, check it out below. So Jeremy, it's been a long time. How's everything going for you?
It's going great. It's been a good almost decade, right, since the crisis. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah, no doubt. Tell everybody a little bit about what market you're in, a little bit about your mortgage practice, and then we'll get into some ideas and strategies.
So I'm in Utah, specifically Utah County, and been doing loans about 20 years. Stay pretty busy. My philosophy, right, is treat people right, and they come back and then they tell their friends, right? And I've built up a pretty decent practice over the last 2 decades, and I stay busy. I don't prospect at all. It's all just follow up, right? You do a good job and people come back.
How many loans are you closing on average per month, and what'd you do last year?
So last 2 years we've done about 40 million, which is about 15 or so loans a month. You know, it depends on the size, but it's about 15 to 18 a month, I guess.
Good, congrats. That's a lot of families that you're serving. Any idea how many past customers you have, or mortgages under management?
Just over 2,000. Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, if you think about it, there's 120 loans a year just in your past customer database, because we know at least 10% of them are going to do a loan. And if you just converted half of those, there's 120 loans a month in your past customer or a year in your past customer database.
No, that's it. Honestly, over half of the loans I close are for past clients or their immediate family members or their friends, right? And then the others are agents and wherever else. They just kind of come in, but.
Yeah, well, I think you represent a great example of someone who, you know, you're very high touch, you're very personal. You know, when someone meets with you, they trust you. So it's kind of like old school loan officer, but you've also, you're very, I don't want to go as far as say you're high tech. I just go because of how much you use Mortgage Coach. You're high touch, you're high tech. How did you get there? Like, you know, like not every loan officer uses technology as savvy as you do. What's the backstory to when you first started using Mortgage Coach?
So it probably took me, 7-8 years as being a loan officer to try to actually figure out how to do my job, right? And I heard of a lot of different tools over the years and just kind of shunned them. And a friend of mine's it was when a friend of mine had said you got to check out Mortgage Coach. I didn't think much of it just because I pushed everything else away. And then I was at a sales mastery. One of the first that Todd came back with, and of course you were there, and I saw it and was just like, that's it. That's what I need in my life. So signed up for it and really haven't looked back.
Yeah. Well, this is someone who's created hundreds and hundreds, more than 600 total cost analysis. Plus, you've created countless number of co-branded realtor experiences. So you've done a lot with it. Well, I mean, it's a big movement in the industry right now where loan officers realize they need to be an advisor and a coach to their families. They realize they need to use tech. I mean, what's your advice to some of the loan officers now that are coaches and leaders, but they're not leveraging tech? Any words of wisdom there?
Well, first of all, it'll make your life a lot easier, right? I mean, the amount of I can put together a video in TCA and a video in maybe 5 minutes. I used to be real camera shy, and I hated myself and hated the way it looks. I'd re-record, and now it is what it is, right? I'm not getting any prettier, and I'm not getting any more well-spoken either. So I just put it together, and people love it. They love the authenticity. They love the amount of detail that you can click on the more info box. So I actually say, hey, here upper left-hand corner, right, which is my right, and it's their left. So that's taking me a while to figure out. Up in the right-hand corner, we'll start in the summary box, and I just kind of walk them through how it works, but they can look at it over and over and over again while I'm sleeping, because you get the emails when they look at it, and people are looking at it at all hours of the night, and I don't have to be on that phone call to keep them engaged in me as a lender.
So part of why you're using Mortgage Coach is just efficiency and effectiveness. It's making you more effective.
Yeah, For sure. And you get the full color presentation is so much more engaging and interesting for everyone, from the analysis, because there's numbers, and for people who just like pretty colors on the screen, right? It's engaging to everyone. It just makes sense to everyone.
Right. Can you think of any families where they came to you thinking one thing, and then you were able to use the total cost analysis to reshape what they thought? And any stories come to mind where you've really used us to change people's perspectives in a positive way?
So I'll tell you honestly, most of the mind changing I think I'm doing is to tell people they shouldn't refinance, right? Which is not what everyone wants to hear. But again, my job is to be honest with people, right? I don't want to fool people into giving me their money, right? I want you to know right now is not the good time. I know that you got something in the mail from some company that says that you can do this and this is the best for you, but look at the cost, and here and here and here is why now's not the best time. I'm happy to let you know when that time might be, but it really isn't now. And I say I would bet, especially when rates drop a teeny bit, I probably send out a half dozen of those a week, just letting people know, hey, I've got your back, right? And now's not the best time. And on the other hand, right, I do it a lot. People say, well, it might not be worth it for me, but to be able to show down there, hey, this is the savings over a 5-year period, and here's the savings over a 15-year period, and then I can retool it and say, if you continued making the same payment you're making now, this thing's going to save you $84,000 at no cost to you. That's a no-brainer. So I've closed dozens and dozens of loans, being able to show people really what the savings would be when they just think, it's like $100 a month. It's probably not worth it for us.
Got it. So it's safe to say Mortgage Coach is giving you that educational tool to bring clarity and confidence to your clients.
Absolutely.
And then you're using it to do reviews, once you close the loan for a client, whether it was a purchase, and they really come to expect, it's like update. And by the way, do you call it the total cost analysis? What do you call it with your clients?
I just call it an analysis. Or here's some numbers I put together for you. Yeah, a personalized video analysis that I put together for you, because I want them to actually click on it and not just think it's not worth it, right? I want people to actually click on it.
So I know you're not a scripted guy. Like, you are just very organic, very real. Every client's getting a unique conversation. But I have to think there's a common thread that when you're getting ready to send the total cost analysis to someone, you say something so that you ensure they click on it. What does that sound like? Either a script or assume that you're talking to loan officers that don't, they're used to quoting rates with a fee worksheet.
Yeah.
And they're going from fee worksheet loan officer to personalized video analysis loan officer. How do they change their scripting? Any advice? Yeah.
So let's say it's a refi, right? Or someone who's considering pulling money out or whatever. It depends on what they're doing. But let's say it's a refi. I'd say something like, here I've put together some personalized numbers for your scenario specifically that will show you how you could save, let's say, use that number again, over $84,000 just on this loan with no cost to you. Something to that effect. Or if it's a purchase, which is mostly what we're doing, right now, is here's some numbers I put together for you that, as you've requested, for homes in the $200,000 to $300,000 range, it will show you how your net worth can accrue depending on the different sales price and what the monthly payment differential would be in that range.
So I hope everybody pulled two things out. So, I like personal video analysis, but the big pull away, both in the refi and the purchase, he didn't just present monthly payments and closing costs like every other loan officer. It's got your purchase options, but then it also has the bigger picture. So in the case of the refi, it was $80,000 over 5 years. In the case of the purchase, you were focusing on net worth and total cost. So it's short term and long term. Let me get you something that's going to help you short term and long term, and that's part of your scripting, right?
Right. I'll tell you one of my favorites. Honestly, one of my favorite people to help is folks that have been in their house a little while. They've got a little bit of equity and they've just amassed some debt, and they don't know what to do, right? And to show people, like with graphs, how they can pay off all their debt, pay off their house, keep their monthly payment where they've been paying their debt now, and be totally debt free in like 7 years. without any additional monthly cost, I mean, like tears come to their eyes, right? It's life changing, and to have a hand in helping someone feel that relief because they've just been struggling for so long. I mean, that never gets old, right?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love how you're using our product to explain strategies and help family build wealth with real estate. So let's shift a little bit and talk about realtors. I know you're so established between your customer business. You've got a lot of realtors that like you, trust you, give you business. But how did you integrate Mortgage Coach into their conversation? And what are you doing so that there's value with how you're delivering advice to the agent? Walk us through what you do a little bit there.
So I use the co-branded, the referral partner option a lot, and I've got their phone number and their picture in there because realtors like their picture, right? So I keep their information in there, and I'll send then when I send the analysis to our mutual client, I'll BCC or even just copy them, the agent on it, and then I'll call them and let them know, hey, I just put this together. Just want to make sure you got it. Feel free to click on that. And then let's talk about any questions you have so that when they're walking through the home with these people and saying, hey, Jeremy sent you those numbers at the 185.5, it's 285.5, right? I guess I'm old school. There's nothing under 200,000 anymore. So if when they're walking through that house at that price point, they can tell this client, if you remember, or even pull out their phone because they've got the app, right? And they can click on it and they can show the client right there in the living room what the cash to close and what the monthly payment looks like.
So you're doing it as a service to the agent, and then when you give the total cost analysis, are you also looping in the realtors on that? So they're
absolutely.
So at the end of the day, you're quoting rates, you're doing pre-quals in a way that the agent's in the loop. It's a communication tool for them. Do you do many open house flyers? Just for agents and open houses? Yeah,
I don't. I like my weekends, and I'm a 8 to 6 kind of guy, Monday through Friday, and that's it. I'll answer a text maybe on a Saturday, but I don't work weekends at all. I've done a couple open house flyers, and I've used the Mortgage Coach software when I do it, but it's just not a big part of what I do.
Now, if there was one feature in Mortgage Coach that's like your favorite feature, what would that be?
Just having the video going out with the TCA. So I'll usually what I'll do is when I'm like you meet with fewer and fewer clients anymore in person, right? But when I do even have people in my office that we've met face to face, which is why the video is so integral. I mean, you want people to see your face and feel like they know you, right? But even if they're here, I'll say, hey, can I email this to you? Yeah, and that way, if I haven't, it's an easy way for me to ask for their email if I don't have it yet, right? So I'll type it in there and send it to them, and then as they're getting in their car, I come back to my desk and I turn on this camera and I start talking about whatever we've talked about, because it's fresh on my mind. Hey, I know you said you wanted this, so here I've addressed this here and this here and this here, and then I send it to them right there. So being able to just nail that video down 30 seconds after they left, and it's all still fresh in my mind. And I don't have to type feverishly for starters because I don't type very well to take notes. So I can include that in the video, and people eat that video up. They love it.
So that, by the way, there's been a lot of great takeaways in this interview that we're having. But think about that, folks. Whether someone came into your office and you met them in person, or whether you were on the phone, you've got the numbers, and now you're just putting that voice memo on the top of it with your picture. I mean, it's a total wow. So I love that. I love that. So let's wrap things up. So by the way, if you like this video, you got takeaways, like it down below. This is in YouTube. Give us a like. Share it with your mortgage friends. If you have questions for me or Jeremy, put them in comments below. Jeremy, what's your last advice to, whether it's a new loan officer or whether it's a loan officer that says, hey, I'm a coach and advisor. I give good advice, but they're not leveraging Mortgage Coach and they're not leveraging tech. What are some of your parting words to your peers in the industry that are just not doing things the way you're doing them?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say if you're a new loan officer, even if you're a seasoned loan officer but just aren't getting the results that you're hoping for, get off your butt, get on the phone, right? Reach out to people, let them know you care, let them know you're there for them. Doesn't matter who you are, make those calls. That's your job, is to bring loans in, right? So I'll say that. And what was the next question?
Well, just from a mortgage coach
Oh yeah,
perspective, for the
do
folks
it.
that are,
Do it. Spend the money. I mean, I don't know what it is, 80, 90 bucks a month. It just comes out of my whatever every year, and I just don't think about it. But it is, there's no question in my mind that it's the best money I spend. Besides buying flowers for my wife, this is the best money I spend every day.
right on. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking time to bring your wisdom and bring your ideas to the mortgage coach community. Have a good one, brother.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Okay.